I'm Victor with Full Courts and Firearms. Today we are going to be installing our extended bolt handle for the Ruger 1022 platform and showing you how to change out the springs. Let's get started. Tools you'll need would be a mallet, a flat screwdriver, a small crescent wrench or a 5/32 socket, small punch, a 9/64 Allen wrench, and a 5/32 Allen wrench, depending on your rifle. Let's get started. First of all, let's make sure that we are actually clear. This one does have a chamber flag in there, but just pull it out, double check, make sure it's clear. We're going to need to remove that front band. That'll be where the 9/64 Allen wrench comes in. Ahead and slide it off the front, and then we're going to need to take off our takedown. So go ahead and use your 5/38 or 32nd Allen wrench. Run it out. Don't need to take it completely out, just part way. And then you're going to want to start the lift on the fore end of the stock. And sometimes it'll come right through, but most of the time you need to center your safety here. So go ahead and take your stock off and set that off to the side. Next thing we'll need to do is we'll need to take out our trigger pins. So usually you'll need to use a mallet for this, especially if they're newer. Sometimes they'll be nice and easy, but this one is going to be a little bit tough. So let's go ahead. So use your punch. The pin, and setting it up on the handle here makes it a little easier to get these out. Set your pins off to the side and go ahead and drop your trigger group out. Set it off to the side. We don't need that anymore. Last, we'll need to take out our buffer in the back. So go ahead and use your There we go. And if they're new, they tend to be a little tight. Just about there. There we go. So go ahead and set your buffer off to the side. Don't need your punch anymore. Next, we'll need to remove the bolt. For this, go ahead and pull the charging handle all the way to the back. Put your finger on the front of the bolt here and lift straight up. This will come off the charging handle. You can lift your bolt, set that off to the side, slowly release the charging handle forward, and then you can take that out through the ejection port. Before you install our extended bolt handle, the first thing you want to do is actually tighten up the recoil rod itself. You'll need your crescent wrench or the 5/32 socket, and put it on the end here. Take your flat screwdriver and put it on the other end. And you're going to want to tighten this down so that you can get it as tight as you can. As tight as you can. To prevent the end from actually bottoming out or coming off. Just double check that it is up against the edge there. Then if you need to change your springs to our different springs, we have the standard recoil spring installed on it. We also have our reduced power recoil spring, and we also have a increased power recoil spring here in our gold one. So we're going to want to put it into the receiver. So go ahead and put it in through the ejection port, and you kind of want to get the tip, the little nut section, into the little socket on the back here and slide it all the way across. After you've done that and have it against the little socket there, you can go ahead and pull the charging handle all the way to the back using your finger. At this point, I usually switch over to my other finger so that I can retain the bolt handle there, and then we're going to want to drop our bolt back into there. So start it down in, grab the outside of the charging handle, and drop the bolt in. It should go most of the way in. It might stop a little bit, and then slowly release the charging handle until the bolt actually drops into its slot, and then release it. It is now installed, and we can go ahead and put everything back in. Next step will be putting our buffer back in. So we'll start on the back there. A lot of times that'll go, it'll be tight just like it came out. Get it lined up and use your mallet to finish driving it in. Once you've done that, we'll go ahead and take the trigger group and put it back in. The key thing here is to watch out for your ejector when you do put it back in. You may want to make sure it is sitting down in the front of the trigger guard. So hold on to that, kind of flip it over and put it on the bolt here, and then you're going to want to line up your holes for your trigger pins. So line up usually I start with the front one, and that one will slide most of the way in, no issue. The second one will usually be a little bit tight most of the time. Once you've done that, then we'll go ahead and put the stock back on. So we'll go ahead, grab that. You're going to want to kind of set the safety in as close to center as you can get, just like that. And then slide the back end in until it actually seats completely at the back, and then swing it down. Once that's down, then you can use your 5/32 Allen wrench to run your bolt down in. If you make sure it's at least snug, or you can use a torque wrench to set it. I believe these stocks are rated about 20 inch-pounds. And then go ahead and put your front barrel band on, and it just slides over the front down there, and then use your 9/64 Allen wrench to tighten it down. Once you've got it tightened down, go ahead, double check, make sure it's running back and forth, and you are done. To change the springs out to either our reduced power or our heavy power springs, you'll want to use your crescent wrench on the nut end, the point end, and just want to get it just tight enough there. And then use a flat screwdriver on this end. And just righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Once you break it loose, it's not recommended to run it out the rest of the way with the screwdriver. Go ahead and take it off, and you're going to want to pull the spring back from the end, and then we'll actually twist. And make sure you hold on to everything when you are doing this, as it will go flying like that. Once you have that, you can pull the standard power spring off, either put reduced recoil on, just slide it over the end. And usually what I do is I set it vertically like this, and then compress the spring until the threads are exposed, and then just start run the end down as far as you can, like that. And then to finish it up, use your crescent wrench and your flat screwdriver to finish tightening it up. You do want to tighten it down before you install it, as you don't want it to back off. If you have any more questions about installing this, you can contact us at fullcourtson.com.